on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps. Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop! Woohoo!
Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year specials store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Yeah, there we go. There it is. We're here.
Is.
No. Like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Numero cinco.
Cinco.
There it is.
That's
There.
us. I'm Austin. He's Strick. You're the Blockheads. We love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for chiming into the show. 402-464-5685. If you've got any thoughts throughout the show. Lots to get to on a Tuesday edition of the show. Nebraska could be in the running for one of its top recruits it missed out on last cycle. AJ Dybantsa gets a bag from BYU for just 1 year in college, and more power to him. And then, Strick, a discussion we've been waiting to have for a while at 3 o'clock. Heisman finalists. Who do you want to win it? Who do you think should win it? Who deserves to win it? We will get into plenty of that. 402-464-5685. Like I said, if you have any thoughts, this is On the Block, 2 to 4 weekdays, brought to you by the great people over at NEBCO. Their constructors vertical is looking for mechanics specifically. So if you are a mechanic or you know a mechanic and you want to work for NEBCO, we recommend it highly. 108 years, a family-owned and operated business, the oldest paving company in Nebraska. Cannot recommend them any more highly. Stricky, how are them tacos? The tachos, I should say, from Tipsy Tina's.
I didn't get a chance to get on it. They're out of tortillas. They went bye-bye.
We didn't have tortillas. We had tater tots today.
Oh, so it was just
tachos.
It was tachos.
It was tachos.
Oh, well,
yeah.
no tater tots. Then what am I going to do with that?
Well, dang. Just eat the pork because it's still good.
No. I didn't risk it. So I took care of the meal. The meal came through with a nice meal sandwich.
Heck yeah.
M-I-L-L sandwich, not M-E-A-L sandwich.
The meal.
Mm-hmm.
The meal. The meal from the mill.
The double M. There it goes.
3 minutes into showtime.
It's somehow, some way, it's gonna figure itself out. But
hey, shout out the people at A1 too.
Oh yeah, A1 came through. Hey, shout out, Kendall and the crew brought some cookies over that they were a little bit better than Sway's. They left the cookies this time, and but we're good to go, man. Thanks for bringing those as well. Yeah, it's a good day start.
It is. And he also had
out there.
a pie of some sort from somewhere.
Yeah,
little pie,
little strawberry cream pie.
It looked like
today.
cherry from a distance, but strawberry
Yeah.
cream. You say?
Yeah, I'm being bad today, man. It's not a good look, but it's okay. It is a good look.
Getting down with your bad self. You need it, Strick. You deserve it. You've been working hard, man.
I know, man. I know.
You deserve it.
Thank you, brother.
I'm proud of you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Stricky, let's get into it. The news of the day is that Williams Nwaneri has decommitted. Well, not really decommitted. He's entered the transfer portal from Missouri. This is a big deal because he was a player that was very high on Nebraska's target list last year for recruits. He's an edge rusher, a guy that would certainly add some juice to the defensive line. He's from Kansas City, right? He stayed in state with Missouri last year. But here's the switch up, Stricky. The difference for Nebraska this year compared to last year is that right now, Nebraska employs his high school coach, Jamar Mosey, who Nebraska hired away from UCF after not long down there in Orlando. He comes to Nebraska, and he was the head coach of the program that Williams Nwaneri played for in high school, the high school he went to.
That's right.
Recruiting is everything in relationship, or relationships is everything in recruiting, I should say. We know this. Is it a problem if Nebraska doesn't land a guy who is highly sought after, right? It wasn't just Nebraska and Missouri. They're both obviously very high on his list, but teams across the country wanted this young man. Just because Nebraska has his high school coach, is that enough to tell you the Huskers should be the favorite for him? Or do you think, hey, it's still Nebraska, they're 6-6, and he might want to go someplace bigger with college football aspirations, like 100% next year?
So you really can't tell these type of things because it differs from person to person, family to family, situations, depending on that, where they want to play, depending on, do they want to be close to family? Is it all about the bag? Is it the potential of being able to be right away in the mix of the college football playoff, i.e. that's why probably a person would go to Oregon or, normally to an Ohio State and places like that.
Mm-hmm.
The stakes are raised when you do that. The risks are there. Are you going to be happy? Are you sure? And this is why I talk about the landscape doesn't always mean that it's greener on that side, because the relationship may be different with another person. They may believe in another person. Like the questions that you ask are so important about the reason as to your why.
Yeah.
The why has to be the most important thing to you, because if it's outside of your why, then there's going to be frustration. With frustration, there's going to be some form of drudgery that comes with it. Your work ethic may not be the same. Your will may not be the same. All of those things come into play. So it just depends on those things for the young man as to what that means, what that relationship with Jamar Mosey is, how much influence that does he have with that family? How close is it that, if he doesn't get to, if ultimately it doesn't get to the why of him, it's not going to matter.
Sure. Rumor has it he was in Lincoln yesterday. That's a good sign for the Huskers, but I'm sure there are plenty other programs interested in him as well. Here's a look at his offer list, Strick, coming out of high school just last year. Missouri, where he enrolled, obviously coming off a Cotton Bowl win over Ohio State. Oregon, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Colorado, Florida, Georgia Tech, Illinois, Iowa, Iowa State, Kansas State, Kentucky, Louisville, LSU, Miami, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Penn State, Purdue, Texas, Texas A&M, USC, and Vandy. Everybody wants this young man. It would be a disappointment for Nebraska not to land him, though. I think there's a lot of connections there to that program, to him. We haven't heard of any, bad blood or any reason that Jamar Mosey and Williams Nwaneri wouldn't have a good relationship. And Strick, I think that this would be maybe the get that Nebraska needs to juice up the defensive line. I'll ask you this question, though. Would you rather have year 3 of Principal Uman Mielen at Nebraska, or year 2 in college football, but year 1 at Nebraska, Williams Nwaneri? Because for me, it's hard to deny the talent that Nwaneri has, right? Huge, nationally sought after prospect, number 6 in the nation, number 2 D lineman, and number 1 in the state of Missouri, 5-star, 99 rating according to 24/7 Sports and everything like that. I get it. Both Principal Uman Mielen and Williams Nwaneri would have been learning a new scheme, right? But I would have rather seen a a resurgent, a hungry again Principal Uman Mielen in his third year, comfortable in Lincoln, than try to get a new player acclimated and rely on a guy who hasn't played any college football at all. I'm not saying Nebraska shouldn't go after Williams Nwaneri, not try to land him, right? Go get it. Bring him home. Having him is better than nothing. But it's just unfortunate the way college football is that Nebraska had to lose Principal Uman Mielen to give himself maybe a chance with him.
Well, here's the thing. The other part of it is, has it been disclosed as to what the scheme is even going to be?
No, we still don't know the
We
DC.
still don't know, right?
My guess tells me, my gut tells me it's John Butler. I think that's the odds-on favorite right now, but we don't know. He's just going to coordinate the bowl game. That's all we know right now.
So you have a lot of unknowns, and it just depends on the kid. It depends on who's talking to him, who's selling him the message, and because you can't really relay to him what scheme, what style, what vision, there's really nothing you can relate to him. So you're banking on relationship.
Yeah.
Solely at this point. So I don't know. For me, those type of uncertainties would give me a little pause.
A little what?
A little pause.
Eric on the text line, VJ tried to pause me permanently earlier. Please keep me safe, fellas. The Eric that is always telling you to pause
got paused.
Yeah, permanently by VJ.
Dang. He must have went in on VJ today.
Cold streets, Tricky.
It's cold out here. It's iceberg out here. There's a lot of stuff in the news that would give a lot of people a lot of pause right now. I'm glad I ain't in. Thank you.
You keep your head down. You mind your own
that's why I
business. You
stay
stick
at
to
home.
yourself.
It keeps me at home. So yeah, we'll definitely see what it's going to be like. But I'm definitely positive, probably, that he's going to want to know at some point. I think the sooner you get that laid out, then you can get some of that stuff shored up, because you still got to do cuts. You still, you're going to want to know what the DC, and this is why, like you said, I think it's going to be internal.
Yeah.
It's going to probably be someone that already kind of has an idea of who's there in the room. It's tough to bring somebody else in, try to get them acclimated into trying to figure out who's who and what do they do and where their advantages are and disadvantages. Try to figure that stuff out. So yeah, that's why you got to look internally and figure that's probably going to be the move.
Let's see. Old Dad 34 says, no, it's not a permanent pause, but VJ only paid Eric for a week of pause. That's still pretty permanent. That's a long time in radio.
Are we talking about PAUSE pause or putting his pause PAWS on him?
No, like pause.
Okay, like that. Okay.
Like the strict connotation.
Okay. Gotcha.
Couple other things from the text line here at Stricky. Jesse from Milford, we specifically didn't touch on this yesterday because of our little post-game ditty that we did, thanks to Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, and Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits for sponsoring coverage of Nebraska men's basketball post-game at the very least. Really appreciate them. Hope you guys tune in after every Nebraska men's basketball game. I'll be there most of the time. Stricky will pop in when he's available. There's really not much to say on Nebraska men's basketball against Michigan State. It's a 37-point loss on the road. Nebraska didn't show up. It doesn't look any better today than it did on Saturday, Strick.
No, they just didn't look good at all. And for me, it doesn't really give me a full story. Doesn't do that for me. So at this point, I just figure let's see, get home. Let's see where we go from here. That's the best way I can say it. Because you just, everybody has those games. I've had them. We've had them. I've had them professionally. I've had them high school. I've had them college. You have those games, and you just have to, and then go back to the drawing board and get back to work and just see what follows. What's your mentality that follows?
Work with me here. When you had a bad game, did you put more of the blame or the credit on the opponent for doing something to make you uncomfortable? Or was it on you for just not being ready for whatever reason?
I would say that it was a little bit of both. I'd have to. I was a person that was capable of looking internally and figuring out what I didn't do right, what, bad shots here, what I could have done better, defensive lapses, maybe lack of conditioning. That's the one thing that helped me to assess what I needed to do in order to take into account the negatives, watching the film, figuring out the things that I need to improve on, what the naysayers are saying, why they're saying it. Okay, how can I get better? And then looking at what they did that we didn't. Was it me? Was it a collective? Was it the first team? Was it, and then really evaluate what that is. And because sometimes it's the first team. The second team gave way more energy. And if we would have left them a little bit longer in the game, I mean, I've had situations where the second team brought the game back. He puts the first team, coach pushed the first team back in, and you should have stayed
hard work's
with,
undone.
You should have stayed with what was getting us there, and so that's happened sometimes as well. So it just depends. It's hit or miss. And at this point, you just really got to take into account that you ran into a buzzsaw and they did something that you didn't do, and they did it better and they wanted it more. And what are you going to do when you get back?
That's just the thing. Nebraska, Indiana, Friday night, I believe at 7:00 is the tip-off for that game. We'll both be there. We'll watch the Huskers and the Hoosiers. Again, we'll react to it on post-game thanks to Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, as well as Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits. The only other takeaway I had is that it's nice that Nebraska is going to get a chance to regroup. It's another long layoff, right? They went from Saturday to Sunday without playing. Now they'll go from a Saturday game to a Friday game. It's essentially 3 games in 2 weeks. That's a lot of downtime.
It's a lot of time.
Granted, you're getting close to finals week. You need time for homework and all of that. Don't get me wrong. That's important. But Nebraska didn't handle the long layoff well the first time. Okay, it happens. Prove that that's the anomaly, right? Bounce back at home. But I want to see this team start bouncing back in games, kind of like it did against St. Mary's, right? Probably should never have gotten down as far as they did, but they did get down that far.
And they fought. Yeah.
They fought back. They took the lead. They got up. They just didn't have enough gas in the tank to finish it. St. Mary's adjusted. Credit the Gales for that. But I want to see Nebraska respond in games, right? It's an old team. It's a veteran team. Yes, they're still learning how to play together, and I get that. That's certainly not without merit. But there's enough veteran leadership on this team. There's enough guys that have played enough college basketball that if they're having an off day, the off day is you lose by 17 or 20, not by 35 or 40, like what happened on the road in East Lansing. We got just about a minute and a half left here before we hit our first break of the show. We have 0177 Stricky. He says, as a regular listener and an almost everyday unnamed texter, I feel as if Stricky and Austin should give me a nickname.
Okay.
0177. What's a character? What's something that's on your mind? That's a good nickname for a texter.
I think we need to just go back and kind of look and assess kind of your flow and how you flow. And then give us a couple of days. Continue to talk to us. Continue to engage with us. And we'll go back and look at some past text messages, and then Austin and I will talk it through. So give us to maybe Thursday. Thursday might be a good day to launch it off. Maybe let's look at that.
My first instinct would have been to call this person Westy because of their area code.
No, see, that's
it's
not
got to
right.
be Westy.
No,
it's got to be
because he might not look at West the way that you look at West.
He wanted us to give him the nickname. He's Westy.
The way you look at Central, and as well as Miss Ellie over there, she looks at it the same way you do, I think.
And she's even from Western Nebraska, so works out pretty well that way.
So if you think Westy, what you say, Westy?
We got to get out of here. We'll
Westy
take a break
with an IE too.
There we go. When we get back, AJ Dybantsa's bag.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Wilbur Claytonia Schools, home of the Wolverines, reminds every motorist that students will soon be out of school for holiday break. Give those kids a break, spelled B-R-A-K-E. Drive at sensible, safe speeds, and while driving, stay off your cell phone. Remember, most accidents occur in parking lots, so avoid the holiday rush when behind the wheel. Over 600 students are enrolled at Wilbur Claytonia Schools, an equal opportunity education provider. Check out their website at wilburclaytonia.org for their school calendar. And in the hustle and bustle, please consider a small donation of toys to your local donation centers.
The Huskers are headed to the Pinstripe Bowl. Cheer on the Huskers in New York City on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour offered by the Nebraska Alumni Association. Your bowl package includes a 2-night hotel stay, round-trip transportation on game day, pregame events, and more. Spots are limited, so book your spot now on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour with the Nebraska Alumni Association. Go to huskerfantravel.com or call 888-831-0858. That's 888-831-0858 or huskerfantravel.com.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year specials store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location. If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full-service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
And electrical.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. We're off and rolling here on a Taco Tuesday, courtesy of the great people down at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Make sure you check them out if you're on your way to Nebraska, Indiana on Friday. A couple Husker football questions from the text line. Austin, Strick, and Ellie with you here during On the Block. 2289, as it comes to the Nebraska football defensive coordinator position. If it's an internal hire, why haven't they announced it yet? I keep wondering if it isn't a currently employed defensive coordinator. Big Hoss says, if we promote a defensive coordinator internally, I think we'll be in trouble. Nebraska needs to get a big-time coach, not somebody who's just starting now. We will not get the elite players that Nebraska is looking for. And Justin says, if the Huskers are looking to make a splash DC hire similar to the splash OC hire, what are some names out there? Let's take these in order, Strick. If it is an internal hire, why hasn't Nebraska announced it yet? Why do you think? If it is Butler, for example.
For me, I think it could be a partial test. You've talked about it. You've talked it up. You said how you would probably, I mean, look, I'm not saying this is what he's done, but I can only insinuate that you got a relationship with the man. There's a reason why the other one bolted.
Mm-hmm.
You've got his ear.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've talked it up. This is, I know we fell short here, but this is what I would have done different. Or, you know what I mean? You probably had those type of conversations. And if you did, you're probably going to say, okay, all right, let me see. Let me see what you're going to do.
Here's a bowl game for you.
Yeah, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if he bombs, I think he stays to the sideline. I think if he hits a home run, he's in there. I think if he does great, solid, okay, he still may be in there. I think the reason being is you're going to probably get him cheaper if you're internal. He already knows the people. It doesn't create as much schism that bringing someone else in new. That there's two good things that can come with bringing someone else in new. If you're going to do that, you better look around the country and find somebody that came from a tremendous program at let me just say similar to like Cincinnati.
Sure.
That's had a defense at that level that could probably pull without having to give super bags to young, talented, and you can basically expand because you'll probably get maybe 5-6 of them to come with them.
Yeah.
On the defensive side. All right. So now you don't have to go crazy in the transfer portal, but you got to sell that to the coach if you're going to bring him in. So you probably, if it's kind of like a James Madison type situation or, a smaller conference type situation, then you're probably not going to have to pay them as much. It's kind of like a shot, but you're going to get probably a good infusion. If you go out there and go for the big dog, you're going to have to pay a big penny, and you hope that defense was good enough that the players liked him and he can bring a couple with him, and then now you've really infused your defense. But you've left instability here in house, which now you've got to have those conversations with them. You've got to do a lot of film work. There's a whole bunch of work that it's going to entail to hopefully be able to keep what you've already lost, which is a good portion of guys that left, and some probably going with Tony White. So that's the dilemma that they find themselves in.
Boston College's offense has been pretty good over the last month. 27 points in a 4-point loss to Louisville, 37 in an upset win over Syracuse, 28 in a 10-point loss to SMU, 41 in a romp over North Carolina, and then 34 points in a regular season finishing 34-23 win over Pitt. I'm with you, Strick. I think that John Butler's getting a trial run is kind of the vibe I get, but I also don't know just how much stock to put into that trial run because it is a bowl game. Think about all the guys that were on Nebraska's defense that played a role that won't be there for the bowl game, right? Prince William Yellen out, Jamari Butler out, and that's just, Tommy Hill obviously recovering from his plantar fascia injury. We'll see if he's available, but again, he wasn't available at the end of the regular season, so it's not the same defense. It's a game with a month off. You don't always know how players are going to respond to that. Going to be played in the cold. Yes, I know it's cold for Boston College as well. I'm not trying to use it as an excuse, but I think there are a lot of, in new terminology, probably, or a guy that's not as comfortable with Tony White's terminology, trying to use it, trying to learn it, but not learn it too much because he's trying to get his own stuff implemented. Bowl games are weird situations, especially something like the Pinstripe Bowl between a 6-6 team and a 7-5 team. I think Boston College is. So whether or not it goes well or poorly, I think there's plenty of ways to explain why it went well or why it went poorly that don't have to do specifically with the defensive coordinator. I also think it would be really hasty for Nebraska to simply name a defensive coordinator from in-house right now. Unless this was always the plan, and unless you are 100% convinced that John Butler is the guy, you do yourself, you do your players, and dare I say you do the fan base a disservice by not interviewing more, right? Right now, Nebraska is in the middle of the college football landscape. They're 6-6. They're not at the top. They're not as far down at the bottom as they are. But you would like to think Nebraska has some pull, some sway. They could attract some upper-ish level candidate, either way you want to say it, to Nebraska for the right dollar amount because of the right situation. And because, Strick, I think there are going to be some defensive coordinators who will tell Nebraska, nope, there's not enough veteran pieces. I don't have time to teach all these young bucks what to do. I want to come in, make my mark right away. But there might be a younger DC or a DC that's more of a teacher that says, hey, there's a lot of young, impressionable talent on this defense. I like the building blocks. I like what I see. I like the vision. I like where Nebraska's headed. We'll maybe take our lumps in year one, but we're going to get better year 2, year 3 with a lot of these guys in place. I like where it's going. So I think that's the kind of defensive coordinator that Nebraska is going to have to hire, is not necessarily a top-of-the-line, proven 100% my way or the highway candidate, but probably a guy that's going to have to come in and teach a younger unit. Who are some of those names? We have Justin asking if they are looking to make a splash hire, who are some of the names? The ones that come to mind internally would be John Butler, like we talked about. Phil Snow, I doubt, even though he was brought in as a consultant, I don't think he's legitimately seriously on the table. A sneaky option would be Rob Dvorak, right? Matt Rule really likes him. He's been on the 30 under 30 list before. Be really young to get a coordinator job, but if Matt Rule wants to throw him to the Wolves, I don't know if I would agree with that decision, but Matt Rule seems to like Rob Dvorak. Maybe he'd be better as a coordinator than linebackers coach. Maybe he has a good mind for defense. I don't know. A name that a lot of Husker fans are throwing out there, Jim Leonard, who wasn't retained as the head coach or the defensive coordinator when Luke Fickell came in. Jim Leonard, of course, coached with Donovan Raiola. There's a connection there, knows the Big Ten like the back of his hand, was working for the Denver Broncos at one point this year. Elijah Robinson, who coached with Rule at Temple and at Baylor. He just coordinated for Syracuse. Not a great year defensively for the Orange, but I believe he's a first-time defensive coordinator, and he's the recruiting guy, right? So do you leave Syracuse after just 1 year where you win 9 games to come to Nebraska? I don't know. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. Jeff Collins has some Matt Rule ties as well. Carolina wasn't very good defensively at all, but with Mac Brown on the way out, Jeff Collins will most likely be searching for employment. And again, there are connections there. Now, granted, Jeff Collins is also the guy that told Matt Rule Jeff Sims was the way to go. So that would be a little disqualifying for me as I look at that one. Big Hoss here says, if Nebraska promotes a defensive coordinator internally, I think the program will be in trouble. Strick, I don't care if it's internal or external. I don't care if it's an experienced guy or a young guy. The theme of the offseason for me is going to be get it right.
Just can't miss.
You just can't miss. Yeah. Whether it's John Butler internally, Rob Dvorak getting his shot, or you pull a bigger name from outside, I do not care. I don't care who the defensive coordinator is. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care who the starting left tackle is. Win the games. I will celebrate them. I will be happy for them. I'll tell you, good job, you won games. Go get the right guys. Go make it work, please.
Yeah, man. That's what it comes down to. It just comes down to the way, or the metaphor that I gave is kicking the can down the road.
Mm-hmm.
It comes to a point where someone walking by has been watching you kick the can down, and they're going to pick it up, squeeze the doggone thing, and say, I hate the sound of this, and I'm going to throw it in the recycling bin.
Make 5 cents for it.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I'm tired of hearing this noise.
Mm-hmm.
Just, that's what it's going to ultimately come down to.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to feel like that. I'm not saying it is that. It's starting to feel like that. The one thing that I've always, up to this point, have appreciated about Coach Rule is that he wasn't giving us a lot of coach speak, and he was actually actively doing or pursuing or the things that you could actually see what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm starting to kind of hit you with the gas face, the side eye a little bit, the bitter beer face. If I could do it, I would show y'all on the stream with your lip overlaid to your chin. I would do it, but
the Ellie and the red wine face,
right? The Ellie red wine face,
mm-hmm.
That part. You don't get to see her often, but we do,
mm-hmm.
And that's how I would look at it, Austin. At this point, and there's eventually going to be frustration, because if you continue to miss, make excuse, miss, because the misses are they're excuse worthy to be able to kind of push you off for another 6 months, or push you off for another year, or push, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's happening with the misses. It's these types
mm-hmm.
of misses that you say, oh, but if Fedoni, if, there's a bunch
mm-hmm.
of these, if they didn't go in the transfer portal, if you didn't sign O'Shawn Matt, if it's just
mm-hmm.
a bunch of these, and I'm not saying he was the cause of all that. I'm just saying,
right.
I'm just giving an example
mm-hmm.
of how many misses we've missed, to include losing games to the tune that we've lost games.
Mm-hmm.
But if they just punted the ball deep, and then you're just like, gosh, dang it, bro. It's like a broken record. I'm tired of hearing that. And then guess what
mm-hmm.
happens? You screech the doggone, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the, well, let me give you an example. Like the old school records when they would play, and this song is, and this song is, and this song is, that's what
yeah.
Stop the freaking record.
Stop the record. Lift the needle.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think to your point there, Strick, the best programs have, I think the best way to say this, the best programs prevent a lot of the hemming and hawing and kicking the can down the road, because they bend down and kick it up. But let's not pretend like everything is perfect and rosy for Oregon. They've
mm-hmm.
dealt with adversity too. They've had off the field issues. Every program does every year without fail. But guess what? At some point, you got to be good enough to overcome that stuff. You got to get coaches and players in there that become the story. Hey, look how well they're doing. For Nebraska recently, it's been look how poorly they're doing, unfortunately. But I'm ready to get to a point with Nebraska where all we can talk about are the players and how well they played and what an exciting season he had, and the future is so bright. Because players are going to transfer from everywhere. Players are going to transfer in and out of everywhere. Coaches are going to stay. Coaches are going to leave. The best programs, those aren't the main stories. Those are secondary. Those are only offseason, right? Nebraska hasn't done enough winning or been successful enough on the field to get rid of the mitigating circumstances. And maybe winning gets rid of the mitigating circumstances, or maybe you deal with the mitigating circumstances. That's how you learn to win. I don't know. There's a lot there. 89-85. What if they have co-defensive coordinators with Butler and an outside hire? You like that idea? You out, Stricky? Co-DCs.
Kind of out on that one, man. It's just, look, we know that good programs have had to adjust and make major adjustments. Like, for example, Alabama's about to have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They've had 4 good receivers jump into the portal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to do it.
Oklahoma,
they've had DCs and OCs leave. You know, so obviously you lose it's like they don't miss in the coaches usually. Like okay, you miss because you have to now adjust to this new landscape of NIL, but you don't miss when they haven't. That's what made them so good for so long. I think he did a really good job of vetting who he was bringing in. And there was an established culture. There was an established way of doing business. If you didn't get in line with the way that business was done, you need to come in and adjust to what's going on here. Don't come in trying to.
Otherwise, you weren't getting hired.
That part.
You're either getting fired or not getting hired. Either way.
First stop. And so that's the thing that Nebraska's got to be able to get right. Like, I like the kid, you know, the McGuire kid. I mean, he's a good kid, good guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a good young man. I just felt, nah. I was like,
not for this program, not right now.
Not right now.
No.
Nah. You know, that it didn't. And then we struggle at the wide receiver position. Oh, then
some dots even I can connect.
Yeah. And then you have to ask those questions, and then you kick it down the road. Oh, yeah, we get running back situations, you know, you're getting these questions because you put yourself in position to get these questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You hopefully reserved yourself by keeping Emmett Johnson with what's going on. I think Holgerson had a big say in, you know, a lot of those individuals that did get an opportunity to stay and those that had to go. Now, where we go from here is going to be how much more we miss.
Hey,
are they going to stand up like Juan Soto and strike out? Are they going to do Canseco and McGuire hit bombs every now and then, but strike out more than that?
Okay, stop the hate. Juan Soto hit the home run to send the Yankees to the World Series, and Canseco had that home run go off his head, my guy. We can do this all day.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think co-defensive coordinators is too many mouths to feed, too many egos in the way. Pick one. If guys aren't on board with it, hey, guess what? Probably not fit for your staff. Sorry, how it goes. Boston College's stud quarterback is in the portal, says Chopper. Castellanos was fine, not elite, more of a dual threat guy, kind of like store brand Kyler Murray, not name brand Kyler Murray at Oklahoma. Boston College's offensive numbers got a lot better with Grayson James at quarterback. 3082 says throw all the money at Belichick. Yeah, no, not going to happen. And there's plenty to get to with Bill Belichick as well. And then if you're a defensive player out of the portal, why would you come here not knowing who your defensive coordinator is? That's from Al. That is a good question. And again, Strick, there's a very fine line for Nebraska to walk between name the guy in enough time that you can sell the vision to recruits, but also make sure you talk to everyone you think you can realistically talk to make sure you make the best hire. Yep. Those aren't mutually exclusive. It's a thin line to walk. It's a fine needle to thread. But again, just get it right. Just make the right decision.
There it is.
So
it's like that.
We got the shootout to play. How you feeling, champ?
I'm feeling all right again.
Good.
Let's get it.
402-464-5685. We'll take a caller. We'll give you give Strick 4 questions. We'll give you 4 questions. If you beat him, you get $30 to our friends at Buffalo Wings and Rings. That's how we'll wrap up hour 1 of On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year specials store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2025 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
The Huskers are headed to the Pinstripe Bowl. Cheer on the Huskers in New York City on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour offered by the Nebraska Alumni Association. Your bowl package includes a 2-night hotel stay, round-trip transportation on game day, pregame events, and more. Spots are limited, so book your spot now on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour with the Nebraska Alumni Association. Go to huskerfantravel.com or call 888-831-0858. That's 888-831-0858 or huskerfantravel.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
We need a contestant.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
I like Taco Tuesday.
We would
when
really appreciate a
I
contestant.
like Taco Tuesday when nothing's happening. And I can just talk to my guy and my girl, Ellie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But we like to play the game. It's entertaining for people.
Ellie go after it. Blow for blow.
We do need to get Ellie on Shootout.
Yeah. Come on, Ellie.
I'm not going to do good at all.
You got this.
I believe in you.
I don't believe in myself. And
See, that's the problem.
That
is the
I know
problem.
that's the problem, but you need to believe
That's
in
the
yourself to be
problem.
able to do it, and I'm not.
Elion is on the phone. Ellie, let's bring him in. Elion, how's it going, man?
It's going great. I'm ready to put BTA on Strick. You feel me?
Ooh. You gonna take it, Stricky?
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Okay, Elion, hold on the line. We'll get Stricky his questions, and then we will get to you. Stricky, your round of the shootout starts in 3, 2, and 1. He was the first quarterback to win the Heisman Trophy, Davey O'Brien or Paul Hornung?
Hornung.
It was O'Brien. He's the only 2-time Heisman winner. Archie Griffin or Eddie George?
Eddie George.
Archie Griffin. He's the most recent Big 12 player to win the Heisman, Kyler Murray or Baker Mayfield?
Kyler Murray.
Yep, and he's the most recent running back to win the Heisman. Most recent running back to win the Heisman. Comes the buzzer. Better
Derrick
get it in.
Henry.
Stricky says Derrick Henry. And that's a comeback, Stricky. You get it. You got it. It is Derrick Henry. That started out very poorly for you.
Bruh.
You salvaged
And
it
I
with a
knew
3-point
the
round.
other ones. Son of a mother sucker.
But you didn't get him. All right, Elion, 3 to tie, 4 more to win. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. This position won the first Heisman, tight end or running back?
Running back.
Yep, he's the most recent ACC player to win the Heisman, Lamar Jackson or Jameis Winston?
Lamar Jackson.
Yep, he's the most recent Big Ten player to win the Heisman, Ron Dane or Troy Smith?
Troy Smith.
Yep, and he's the most recent non-quarterback to win the Heisman. Most recent non-quarterback to win the Heisman.
Most recent non-quarterback. It's not Travis Hunter. He hasn't won it yet.
Oh, no. Do not get it off. The answer?
Can I steal?
You can't steal, but do you know it?
Smith.
Devontae Smith. Devontae
I
Smith.
get to
Alabama.
steal, man.
You do not. You do not. All right, Elion, stay with us here. We play the tiebreaker. Strick will give a number. You will go over, under, or push his answer for the win. Sound good, Elion?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, Stricky, here's the question. Tennessee has the most Heisman runner-ups of any school. How many volunteers have finished second in Heisman voting? How many Tennessee volunteers have finished second in Heisman voting?
You're asking me?
5.
No. Okay, Elion, Stricky says 5 Tennessee volunteers have finished second in Heisman voting. Do you say it's over 5, under 5, or do you push it's an even 5?
Over.
Elion says over. It's under. The answer is 4. The answer is 4. Hank Loricella, Johnny Majors, Pete Schuler, and Peyton Manning. Elion, you talked a big game. You gave it a run. You fall just short. Thanks for playing. Try again soon, man.
Great numbers.
Can I say something real quick, though?
What you got?
Hey, listen, everybody. Come out to the game tonight. Hey, Lincoln Northwest versus Ashland Greenwood. Come out to the game. 7 o'clock. Come on, come out. Come watch me play.
There it is.
There it is. Shout out Falcons. Appreciate it, Elion.
Shout out to Falcons. We better than Strick.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Even on the way out, firing shots. All right, turn it up, Ellie. You can get it a little louder. There we go.
The champ is here.
Dricky, that started so rough.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
He's not like us. He's not like us. He's not like us.
Like us, like you.
Bruh! I knew the other two.
But you
I
didn't
thought
get
you
him
were
right.
trying to trick me again. Just go with your gut. You always be trying to trick me, and you don't.
Maybe I don't try to trick you, and you trick yourself.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's on you.
Gotcha.
We will find a way to give away the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings when we get back for hour 2. But before we do,
That's 3
Ellie,
and 0.
That's a pretty good streak, Stricky.
Keep it going.
Ellie's going to finish out the hour by telling us how you or someone you know could win some great cakes from Beatrice Bakery.
This holiday season, we are partnering with Beatrice Bakery for your holiday cake giving. Tune into your favorite 93.7 The Ticket shows all holiday season and nominate people or organizations that you believe are in need of some delicious cakes, courtesy of Beatrice Bakery. From grandma's fruit cake to chocolate rum, strawberry daiquiris, and much more, Beatrice Bakery and 93.7 The Ticket want to gift the world of yum to the most deserving people in Lincoln. Head to BeatriceBakery.com to view their selection and get some cakes for your holiday get-togethers. Send us a text with the person you are nominating and a few sentences saying why to our Starter Heyman text line at 402-464-5685 or an email to info@theticketfm.com. All cakes must be picked up at the Ticket Studio, 1040 O Street in downtown Lincoln within 2 days of winning.
Thank you, Ellie. Well done.
Yay.
Good job. We'll go to break. Hour 2, including we got some finality on Nebraska's defensive coordinator position. We'll talk about that. We will talk some Heisman race. We'll talk some NBA in hour 2 of the show.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, partly sunny and breezy. However, light snow showers possible this afternoon. We'll see a high around 42. Tonight, a chance of snow early, then partly cloudy, and a low around 20. And tomorrow, we'll see sunny skies and an afternoon high around 30. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
The Huskers are headed to the Pinstripe Bowl. Cheer on the Huskers in New York City on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour offered by the Nebraska Alumni Association. Your bowl package includes a 2-night hotel stay, round-trip transportation on game day, pregame events, and more. Spots are limited, so book your spot now on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour with the Nebraska Alumni Association. Go to huskerfantravel.com or call 888-831-0858. That's 888-831-0858 or huskerfantravel.com. Join us for Old School this Friday, December 13th at Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Enjoy their great beer selection as you pregame for the Nebraska-Indiana men's basketball game at Pinnacle Bank Arena at 7 o'clock. That's Old School this Friday at Salt Mine City at 8th and R.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. volleyball is the next major league.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Well, we were just talking about the Nebraska defensive coordinator position, and according to a report from ESPN's Pete Thamel.
Pause! In my Eric voice, not with the K, with the C.
Text line Eric voice.
Text line Eric. Pause. Doom. The champion.
You already got your music. You already got your music.
Oh, I just had a reminiscence. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Just need to pause.
See if you get it again on Thursday.
Right. Okay, sorry about that. My bad.
I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you as you won. Hey, don't go breaking equipment in here.
I know, I almost did too.
We treat our stuff nice. Hey, now.
Okay, I'm ready.
If you were a boxer, who was your boxing style like?
Probably like Roy Jones. Slick.
Slicky Stricky?
Slicky Stricky. You know what I'm saying? Just real quick with it. And then quick jabs like that. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm.
I know what you're talking about.
Quick hooks. Mm-hmm.
1, 2.
Yeah,
night.
That part.
I see.
All right.
Respect.
What are we talking
Pete
about?
Thamel reporting
We got some good news.
that Nebraska is set to promote John Butler to be the school's new defensive coordinator.
Wait, see, if you just listen to On the Block, Strick ain't like Jay. Strick ain't like Rashawn. Strick ain't. I don't have that kind of access.
Ain't like us.
They ain't like us. I don't have that kind of access. I just have intuition. Except when I'm playing freaking shootout with Strick.
Up is down,
and I
left
know
is right,
the freaking
east is
answer,
west.
and I don't freaking go with my gut. But other than that, it's just intuitive. It's just intuitive, man. You can just if you can read the tea leaves, you can kind of come up with how it's plausible for it to go a certain way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we're wrong too, but it's sometimes we get it. We get it. We can kind of look down the road and kind of understand it a little bit. And we kind of figured out how it's going to go.
Yeah. We read the tea leaves or the coffee beans, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
In your case, you got the good milk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's probably why I came back in here all geeked up. The meal. Strong.
Hey. John Butler in his career is just now getting his second crack at being a defensive coordinator. He began coaching in 1995. He was a defensive coordinator at Catholic College, so that was a small college-ish back home. Grad assistant at Texas, went to Midwestern State, Southwest Texas State, was at Harvard, Minnesota, South Carolina, Penn State defensive backs coach in 2012. He added defensive coordinator to his defensive backs coaching responsibilities in 2013. He jumped to Houston with Bill O'Brien from 2014 to 17. From there, he went to Buffalo. He was the DBs coach from 2018 to 2023. In those last 2 years, he was also the passing game coordinator. And then Nebraska, obviously coaching the secondary and the defensive pass game coordinator for the Huskers last year. That 2013 Penn State defense, just taking a look at that really quickly here. For the season, they allowed a 59% completion rating, 237 yards per game on an average of 35 attempts. Rush defense, 37 carries, 144 yards, right about 4 yards per attempt that year. 381 total yards of offense on 72 plays per game. Works out to a 5.3 yards per play average, which, as we learned earlier this season, no thanks to Marcus Satterfield for that, 5.3 yards per play is not exactly where you want to be as an offense. So a decent defense, not a great one. They allow 26 points per game, right about midpoint of the country, maybe slightly above midpoint. Offense wasn't great, though, only scored 28.7 points per game. Not a huge amount of defensive talent on that defensive side, though, Strick. You think about where Penn State was, right, in 2011, 12, and 13, especially when Butler was there. A lot of reckoning from the Jerry Sandusky scandal and fallout from that. So I don't know how much we can glean. It was a completely different Big Ten. It was a completely different era. Just looking through the names here for that Penn State defense. Leading tackler Glenn Carson, Mike Hull, Jordan Lucas, Malcolm Willis, Daquan Jones at defensive tackle. Adrian Amos played safety in the NFL, has for quite a while. And then, at least for me, you got to scroll away till you get to the next few players, and they're really down the roster. Carl Nassib only played in 7 games. He was on that team. Gary Wooten Jr. potentially. So not necessarily the most talented unit out there. Decent, not great results. And certainly if Nebraska allows 26 points per game next year, that would be a significant and a notable step down from where they were. Some of the games of that year, Penn State ends the year 7-5. They beat Syracuse 23-17, lose to UCF 34-31 in Happy Valley. Actually lost by 20 on the road at Indiana 44-24. They allow 40 points to Michigan, but end up winning that game 43-40 in Happy Valley. They upset number 18 Michigan. Allow 63 points to Ohio State, and then they win 3 of their last 5 games. The wins were 24-17 over Illinois, 45-21 over Purdue. And on the road at Camp Randall, they take down number 14 Wisconsin 31-24. The 2 losses in that stretch were on the road at Minnesota 24-10, and then hosting Nebraska. Nebraska got them on Senior Day. Huskers win it in overtime 23-20. We got some reaction rolling in from the text line here. Gorilla Bear says, atrocious hire. Program doesn't seem serious about winning. 1 year of defensive coordinator experience and 30 years of coaching. Heck of a year to take a crapshoot onto DC, looking at a 5-7 ceiling. The amount of support and money this program has, and to never have an elite coaching staff is just ridiculous. So he had more talent than he'll have at Nebraska and still had a bad defense. And why would Rule come out and say he had a ton of people interested in the position and then give the job to Butler? Gorilla Bear, not a fan. There's a lot there. And Strick, I don't see an unfair question in there. Do you?
No, not at all. It is not an unfair question. But it goes back to your why.
Yeah.
What is it that you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish? Like, and this is the kick down the can, mentality, because if you just keep kicking it down the can, you're never going to get to some form of a resolution to where there's high levels of accountability, right? You're going to look at the fact that one left. You're looking at that he's the closest thing to the retainment of what we have because they know him. It's a sellable story.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to have to pay him as much because he can have a conversation. He's here. He can have a conversation with him to say, hey, listen, I got to do you like Tony. Show me, improve me to me, and then we'll talk about a raise. I mean, all that, because if you go outside, if you're going high level, you're going to have to pay. And let me ask you this question. Would you say that staying internal, we're talking risk reward, 402-464-5685, this is for you guys too. We're talking risk or reward. Is it a higher risk to stay internal or to go external? Go.
Depends on the risk you're talking about. I think that the risk of getting too familiar is obviously higher if you keep it internal, but the risk of upsetting what chemistry you might have is bigger if you go external. But you already lost your defensive coordinator, your defensive line coach. Phil Simpson was hired back to Nebraska, by the way, on the defensive line. So there's at least that going on for Nebraska. I think that generally speaking, though, the risk seems higher when you hire externally.
Okay. The reward, is it higher external, or what would make the reward better external, and what would make the reward better internal?
I think that the external reward is, hey, Nebraska brought in a new, fresh voice. They needed one with Tony White leaving. The players found a good voice in their new coach to respond to. The reward is, hey, look at Nebraska. It can show and prove on a national scale that it can afford to hire big-time coaches, that it's taking those positions seriously, and that it is still a force to be reckoned with. The reward for an internal promotion is more along the lines of what I think Matt Rule wants. Of course, he wants to be competitive in NIL and salaries and everything in the marketplace, but Matt Rule wants to coach his coaches. He wants internal. He wants retention. So I think the reward for Nebraska and for Matt Rule is that they're men of their word. They identify correctly. They coach the coaches. They identify the talent. And then when the opportunity comes for that talent to step up into that gap and into that void, the talent performs. The talent comes through and rewards the head coach's faith.
Okay. So for me, as I look at it, it's a rough thing, because I really believe that it's harder to go external and hope that you're hitting. Now, here that you hit the homer. Now, here's the thing for me. This is just me, and I can't say this for everybody. I can say this because I've actually done this before. For me, it's not always about the money. Okay? So I'm saying I was willing to bet on me. And if I really, really care, and I really, really love, and I really, really want to see this place get back to its, glory.
Mm-hmm.
I would pull a Travis Kelce. I would pull a Jalen Brunson. I would sacrifice part of what I have to go after who I really believe can get this thing to where it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would sacrifice part of mine if it's not available in the budget, if I can't get the AD or I can't get the regents or whoever to account for it. I would say, you know how much that would show? Like,
a
yes,
lot.
You can't get it back.
Especially
but
in this
again,
day and
what's the
age.
difference between 8 and 10?
What's the difference between 6 and 8?
Right?
What's the difference between 5 and 8?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it just so that's what I would do to not only show them up top, them who are writing the checks, them who are NIL, them who are, I would show them that I've got skin in this too. Like I'm serious about this program. And I know you believed in me, but I believe in me too. And I believe in now, if I do it, you're gonna have to touch me up for it though.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? And if I don't, then understand that I'm still hunting for trying to make this thing get back on track. That would just be me. That's how I would play it. I look just a little bit deeper. Like I look like I remember when Kentucky was on top. And I remember looking on that sideline and I said, well, God darn, that has something to do with it. That man, Rod Strickland, is sitting right over there. He's one of the best to do it. One of the most unsung guys. And all coach has to do is put a tape on and show him who, this is who's talking to you. You know what I mean? Or this is who's recruiting you. When he steps into a room, if it's not by the prestige of who Calipari was, that man standing next to you, the dad is going to know who that guy is. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a different type of conversation. So I'm just saying, that's the way I look. I look and fault him if you will. this is why people are gravitating towards where? Colorado. Look, he's not an X and O guy. But when you may not like him, you may not like his bravado, you may not, there's things you may not like, but the one thing you can't say is that outwardly you can't say he don't care.
No, can't say that.
The fact that man stepped off with Jimmy Horn Jr.'s dad not being available and walked him down as if he was one of his sons.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think these parents see that?
I think they do.
At least you're going to say he cares. No, and again, there's many stories of coaches like that out there.
Mm-hmm.
But those are things that are important. You know what I'm saying? Who came on? Somebody came on the line. I don't know if it was on WTF or something, but they're like, was it on our show, Austin? They were like, somebody says, Eric could have if you like at least 4 people that you had interest in.
Oh, yeah.
Was it us?
Yeah. I've had that a couple times. Yeah. Four guys that you know, the families.
I had great relationships with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how would you not use that? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I think there's ways to do that. So there's 2 ways to it. You've got to be great like Saban. You've got to know how to pick them.
Yeah.
And you've got to know how to build a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Or you've got to be a super relationship guy.
Yeah.
When you look them in their face, they look them at parents in their face, because there's got to be a differentiator, because everybody's why is not the same. Everybody's why is not about a bag. And if you look at one of his tweets that he just put out recently, he talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, you can come searching for the bag, but you also need to have an idea of, like your grandma used to tell you, everybody you play with ain't right for you to be playing with.
Mm.
Everybody you run with ain't the right person to be running with, because somebody might go in there and rob a store, and just because you running with them, you're going to get caught up in it. Right. So there's a lot of these dynamics that go on in the coaching sphere that you have to account for.
Mm-hmm.
Which way are you going to go? How are you viewing it right now when you look at it? Which way are they going? Are they going for the building of the tree, or is he going for these relationships that need to be? But you can see a combination of both, and it's okay that you can have a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, there's got to be a distinguisher of who you are.
Well, at that point, if you're planting a tree and trying to tend to it, let it grow, you got to see fruit.
Facts.
You know, whether it's you're the one calling the plays, you're the one building the relationships, the fruit is wins and losses. The fruit is players sent off to the NFL. There's usually a really good correlation between the number of players that go on to the next level, or, or first team, second team, all conference guys, and the number of wins you have. That's not rocket science. Whether it's, hey, I know how to call plays, I'm going to put you in position to succeed, come play for me for that reason, or, hey, I will take care of you, I will make sure that you are on the right path and your future is secure. Either way, whichever tree you're planting, it's got to bear fruit.
Facts.
And you got to see that fruit. We're up against a break, but you guys have so much reaction on the text line. We'll get to you guys. We will go through the text line. Your reaction to John Butler officially being named the defensive coordinator at Nebraska when we get back to On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
The Huskers are headed to the Pinstripe Bowl. Cheer on the Huskers in New York City on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour offered by the Nebraska Alumni Association. Your bowl package includes a 2-night hotel stay, round-trip transportation on game day, pregame events, and more. Spots are limited, so book your spot now on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour with the Nebraska Alumni Association. Go to HuskerFanTravel.com or call 888-831-0858. That's 888-831-0858 or HuskerFanTravel.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com. Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Austin Norman, Eric Strickland, Ellie with you here during On the Block. It turned into a busy news afternoon. Nebraska promoted secondary coach and defensive passing game coordinator to defensive coordinator, that is John Butler. We talked about that, and we will get your reaction on that. But just as we were talking last segment, we did get some more news. We got 3 other moves made for this Nebraska coaching staff. Phil Snow, the defensive advisor, did kind of the same consulting work that Dana Holgerson did for the offense. Phil Snow is now the associate head coach for Nebraska. Okay, so Rule's right-hand man on the coaching staff, essentially, which makes sense. Phil Snow was with Matt Rule for a long time. There's a strong relationship there, a lot of trust there. So Phil Snow is the associate head coach. Phil Simpson, like I mentioned, is the outside linebackers coach. He was at Nebraska, left, he returns. And then here's the other one, Strick. This is new just within the last 20 minutes. Nebraska has its defensive line coach as well, a man by the name of Terry Braden. Terry Braden Jr. specifically. He has been with the Kansas City Chiefs for the last 8 years.
Well, that's a great defensive front.
It's his 4th year as the assistant defensive line coach this year, right? He's coached a lot of great players.
That's a fact.
Chris Jones comes to mind, right? They draft George Karlaftis, draft Felix FAU, and Adoke Uzoma from Kansas State. But what I think is interesting about the Terry Braden hire, Strick, obviously he's worked with a lot of great players, but think about the Chiefs. It's Chris Jones as a staple in the middle, and then it's a bunch of, we'll take what we can get. We'll make it work. I think Terry Braden is a guy that can identify what each guy does well and find a way to put them in positions to make it work. I'm intrigued by that hire.
And proximity.
You know what Kansas City ties again.
And proximity. So you definitely you get something there. You get someone who definitely has a good eye for talent, but not just talent, but a good eye for technique. Not on technique, off technique, what they do, how they, how they're using them, their hands, do they have quickness? I think he's good, like you said, at those other things that people, not just measurables, not just your typical measurables, things that can all make a defense be able to fill in and patch holes. You don't want to be on a boat, Austin, and you're taking on water but not know how to patch the hole.
Yeah. Flex seal.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you got to use that, whatever you got to use, you got to figure out how to patch this hole. Otherwise, the ship is going down. Why has the Kansas City Chiefs been able to continue to do it with all of the money that they have into not only the quarterback, but also on their defensive side? It looks like outside of the quarterback, they really went big on the defensive side. Not even offensive line. They went on the defensive side to try to balance off some of that and just, took the same approach on the offensive side. So I think it's good.
We will get to the text line because you guys have a lot to say. Sartor Heyman Jewelers sponsors at 402-464-5685. And I know Stricky's been popping up some comments from YouTube as well. Twitter, Facebook streams available for you if you leave a comment. Again, courtesy of the great people at Sartor Heyman Jewelers. 3578 says, seems like good quarterbacks have destroyed Nebraska's secondary. Yeah, secondary was up and down, right? Had some questions about it coming into the year. Had a bunch of guys back, some new faces in new places. Didn't get really anything from Bly Hill. Tommy Hill was up and down with the injury, mostly down after that pick 6 against Colorado. So you miss him or a full version of him for quite a bit of the year. I think you see the loss of Omar Brown was kind of a big deal. So I don't think that secondary was ever able to get comfortable necessarily. It wasn't a good year for the secondary like we had seen before. Old Dad 34 says the writing was kind of on the wall when Rule hired John Butler last July. I think that was always going to be the initial read. The initial look was to give John Butler a chance. But Gorilla Bear has continued to chime in. Gorilla Bear, we really appreciate it. He asked a question we didn't really address, Strick. Why would Rule come out and say that he had a ton of people interested in the Nebraska defensive coordinator position, but then just give the job to the internal guy?
Great question. That's one that you would hope that during a presser? Someone would ask.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. That's a great question. That's one that I just couldn't wrap my hands around just over here with as much intuition that I do have. I really can't speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, a lot of people were saying that the writing was on the wall. You could pretty much see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. That's a tough one. It's a tough one for Strick.
Girlbear also says, added 3 people to the staff who have almost 0 recruiting connections and or experience in recent history with recruiting. Yeah, not ideal. Maybe they have more than we know. NFL is a different game. Previous stops are different than Nebraska, right? Recruiting to Nebraska is its own unique beast. It's its own animal, its own, challenge. And especially when Nebraska's 6-6, when you're not good enough to get high level talent, but too good maybe to want to go super hard in mining the depths of talent, right? There's a certain caliber of prospect that Nebraska can get that Nebraska hasn't necessarily succeeded with recently. I mean, you rank 6th in the Big Ten in the 2025 cycle in the 18-team Big Ten. 6 out of 14 and 6 out of 18 are 2 completely different rankings, especially with the ads. So, yeah, these guys are going to have to learn to recruit and learn to do it quickly, because you can't just say, oh, no worry, this coach will cover for you. Recruiting is an all hands on deck exercise. And what is the first thing that the Nick Saban did when he got to Alabama? Is that everything we do is about recruiting. More hands on deck, more people involved. We need to make sure that this runs as smoothly as possible. You can't be taking hands away from recruiting. You need hands on, especially position coaches. So 4245 says, all these NFL coaches hired, will they be able to recruit in today's college football landscape? Similar sort of thing, Strick. Are you worried about the recruiting, or do you think that the NFL pedigree is going to be enough for prospects to give Nebraska a chance?
I mean,
does it go back to the why again?
You've got to one, identify what you're going to be.
Mm.
And not just style. I'm saying
not 4-3, 3-4, 3-5.
No, not that. You got to figure out what you're going to be. What type of program are you going to be? Is it going to be the Cincinnati model? Is it going to, because these programs, the Illinois, they have to build it differently. They're not going to be able to just throw a whole bunch of NIL at it, like Oregon or Ohio State. You heard Bielema talk about it in a presser. He said, "Shoot, we don't just have $20 million to just throw at it." You know what I'm saying? We don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to figure out who you're going to be. If you don't have it that way, then you've got to be the best at training young talent, retention of keeping guys on campus, letting them know the message.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to be the best of the power fours in coaching guys up and finding gems in the rough.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying you have to have a niche at something.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it's not always recruiting. So if that's who you're going to be, I'm just speculating again. If that's who you're going to be, then you don't need to have the super recruiting guys that could just step into, and they know everybody on 24/7, and
mm-hmm.
they know all the guys and the coaches and the 7-on-7 guy. They don't need to. You just need to be able to look, identify, talk to, sell as to why what I see in you, maybe others don't.
Mm-hmm.
What I see in you is, yes, you're a linebacker now, but I see that you could be a pro and be able to sell it and show it to them as to why. Bring film on some guy, Jimmy.
Here's why Mike Dana works. Here's why Charles Omenihu works, for example.
And
right?
let him be able
to
see, like, oh, I see that. Okay. And then that way you're finding gems. You're finding crossovers. You're finding guys that no one would be telling them these stories. And maybe they are, but you're just selling it better. You just have to sell it better than they do.
I do think it's going to be interesting to watch, Strick, because I'm not going to say the NFL guys can't recruit. Just because we haven't seen them do it doesn't mean they can't. Are they at a disadvantage coming in? Sure. Right. Relationships are key in recruiting. We talked about that to start the show. But it does seem to be somewhat at odds and somewhat in conflict with what Matt Rule wants to do because of the way college football is changing. It is incredibly difficult now to get a player to stick around for 4 years, let alone 6, like you had with Ty Robinson, for example, right? if Matt Rule can find a way to thread the needle and keep enough developmental guys around to where he can credibly claim to be a developmental program to find those diamonds in the rough that I think got harder for Nebraska to do, because that was what Evan Cooper did before he resigned, and he's at Florida State now. So I'm not going to say Nebraska can't do it, but you have to be the elite of the elite in doing that, in selling your vision, and not just selling the vision like a bill of goods, but in seeing actual evidence, fruition on the field, actual plays being made by actual players, because you're not going to be able to keep guys around that whole time necessarily. So if you can't keep guys around and you want to be a developmental program, maybe the shift to NFL guys is, we know that we're only going to have these guys for 1 year, 2, maybe 3 if we're lucky. So the sales pitch is, we will get you ready for the NFL quickly. That's who we are. That's what we do. We know how to get you to the league, instead of, we're here, get in our pipeline, get in our system. We'll develop you over the course of your career in college.
That part.
Is that fair?
That part.
A few more texts to fly through. We'll go to break. We got our Takedown Tuesday guest in the studio with DP, so we want to make sure we're respectful of their time. Big B says, this is not exactly a splash hire. I could be wrong, but I don't see it working out exactly well. How long can the university keep spending money that doesn't care about, says Brad. Hoff says, can we expect Butler's defense to look how the defensive backs looked this season? If so, we might be screwed. It was a weird situation, but Strick, again, it was a situation Nebraska's making. I think there's some internal conflict between an ambitious John Butler and Tony White, who had his scheme that he came to Nebraska as a differentiator with. I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong. All I know is Tony White is at Florida State now, and John Butler's at Nebraska now. He doesn't get a mulligan for last year, right? That absolutely goes on his record. He's judged for how the defensive backs played and didn't play last year. But I'm at least willing to give him a shot. Okay, show me what you got. Matt Rule believes in you. I'm still in on Rule. I still think he can do good things at Nebraska. Just be right. Okay, he gets a shot. He gets a few years, but Nebraska has to make sure that he's the right guy. You know?
Yeah. So that's got to come down.
BJ in Wichita, not crazy about it either. The DBs underperformed. 67-85. Is this hire the deciding factor that if we go 500 again, if Rule stays another year? Rule's not on the hot seat. I really don't think he's on the hot seat. If Nebraska dips to 4 or 5 wins again, some of that chatter is going to pick up, but I just don't think the buyout situation is going to be tenable. Yeah. And I also don't expect Nebraska to only win 4 or 5 games. So he's popped. Justin's up there from YouTube. He doesn't love the hire. Money G in Kansas, unfortunately not too excited. Think Nebraska could have done better. Please prove me wrong. And then says, the consecutive sellout streak of fans deserves a proven black shirt level coordinator. Maybe John Butler is. We don't know. We're all guessing right now.
Yep.
The results haven't been promising. I am willing to grant everyone that's saying they're underwhelmed the fact that, yeah, it doesn't look great right now, right? This could very well be another, like you said before, Strick, Garrett McGuire situation. It's staring us in the face. Guy's not ready. Kid's not ready to do this job at this level. That could very well be true. But we don't know it for a fact. He hasn't been in this role at Nebraska yet. I'm in wait and see mode. Can't draw a lot of conclusions from the bowl game, but I think it'll be an interesting first data point against BC.
Gotcha.
Huskers P. Rule and his buddy hires are going to cost him. Ben says, certified Dion hater here. I drink a gallon of Dion Haterade every single day. I think part of that's on purpose, though, Stricky, right? Because what is Dion doing? He's taking flack. He's taking attention off his coaches who are still learning how to be coaches. Warren Sapp was not a coach. Phil Lodeholt, coming back to college, was a coach. But guess what? That entire staff, even Pat Shurmur's the offensive play caller, not exactly awe-inspiring. What Dion does is very intentional. And I think he knows people are going to pay attention to him. So I think what Dion does is intentional, specific, and targeted to get people to look at him, sometimes for his sake, but I think for the sake of the other ones around him. I think Dion takes a lot of pressure off his kids and his coaches.
Gotcha. That's all I got. Gotcha. That you gotta listen. He is a version of Dennis Rodman. Not to the extreme.
Not the hair, no North
but
Korea.
But a version of it.
Would they hold the plane for Dion like they held the plane for Dennis?
I probably believe they would. You've got to think about it from a standpoint of not only does he take the onus of that, the brunt of that, but he also spreads it by the attention that's received.
Mm-hmm.
So he shares NIL connections. So he expands NIL by way of self-marketing to then disseminate it and use it to go towards the players by way of the relationships. And then that enables him to be able to draw them in. You can just go look at the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves, just what he's been able to do monetarily, not just for the University of Colorado, but for the city of Boulder and that mini region.
Yeah.
Just the impact that it's had. Smart, just smart marketing.
We're going to go to break. You guys have plenty more.
How would you like
text for us
Rule
get
to do that to freaking Haymarket?
Hey,
like, think about
no kidding,
that, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Business owners would love it. We'd love it. It's my city.
You work.
Let's prop it up. Let's go to break. We'll get to some of your texts during break. We'll respond to a few more live on air before we get you to Takedown Tuesday.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Wilbur Claytonia Schools, home of the Wolverines, reminds every motorist that students will soon be out of school for holiday break. Give those kids a break, spelled B-R-A-K-E. Drive at sensible, safe speeds, and while driving, stay off your cell phone. Remember, most accidents occur in parking lots, so avoid the holiday rush when behind the wheel. Over 600 students are enrolled at Wilbur Claytonia Schools, an equal opportunity education provider. Check out their website at wilburclaytonia.org for their school calendar. And in the hustle and bustle, please consider a small donation of toys to your local donation centers.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com. The Huskers are headed to the Pinstripe Bowl. Cheer on the Huskers in New York City on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour offered by the Nebraska Alumni Association. Your bowl package includes a 2-night hotel stay, round-trip transportation on game day, pregame events, and more. Spots are limited, so book your spot now on the official Husker Pinstripe Bowl tour with the Nebraska Alumni Association. Go to huskerfantravel.com or call 888-831-0858. That's 888-831-0858 or huskerfantravel.com. If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings, your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we got not long here. We'll just take a couple minutes before we get you over to Takedown Tuesday. Big thanks to Nebco for their sponsorship here of On the Block. Check them out today at nebcoinc.com, constructorslincoln.com, or readymixedconcrete.com. Austin, Strick, and Ellie with you. Let's see here. Mr. Mike D just got off work. Please recap the hires that you're talking about. Okay, John Butler, promoted from secondary coach to defensive coordinator. Phil Snow, Matt Rule's longtime defensive coordinator at Temple and Baylor, officially added to the staff as the associate head coach. Lemon, I do not know exactly what an associate head coach does. I guess we'll see. Right-hand man sort of role to Matt Rule, I presume. Phil Simpson back to Nebraska as outside linebackers coach, and Terry Braden Jr. hired as defensive line coach. Terry Braden Jr.'s name you might not know. He's been the assistant defensive line coach for the Kansas City Chiefs for the past 4 years, been in that organization for the past 8 years. And hey, Patrick Mahomes has been with the organization for 8 years. So maybe whoever comes in, Terry Braden, is going to lead Nebraska to 3 college football championships. I guess we'll see.
We'll see.
Sundo in South Lincoln. What defense do you think Nebraska runs? I don't know. I really don't know. That would be a Jay Foreman type of question. We'll get Jay's thoughts on that coming up tomorrow on Old School. Travis, do you think Rule had any reservations now versus when he brought Butler in? Since the secondary wasn't so good this year, not enough reservations to not hire the guy. So maybe, but maybe not. Railroader Matt says, Rule and Snow have had great defenses, and with Snow on staff, I'm excited. Axel Foley, I'm kind of happy about being underwhelmed for once. Every time we think it's a big-time hire, it doesn't pan out anyways. And 4069 says, people were complaining about the Tony White defensive coordinator hire too. I'm glad to see a little bit of that perspective trickle in too, Strick. I understand the skepticism. I understand where people are coming from. But yeah, Husker fans are notoriously skeptical. They deserve to be after all the losing that they've seen. Give the guy a chance, right? Give the staff a chance. If Matt Rule hasn't,
that's the issue.
It is.
And that's the frustration that if it doesn't pan out, you've got to hit. This is what we're talking about. You've got to pick up this can and discard it right now. Well said, Austin, because this is where we're at now.
Yeah.
This is where the frustration is starting to seed a little bit.
Yeah. I can't decide, Strick, if Nebraska kicked the can down the road by hiring John Butler, or if this is the move that Nebraska thinks is picking up the can.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to see.
That's what we're going to see.
1645. Some of this fan base is a dumpster fire. Hey, be nice to your fellow Husker fans. Todd or Husker Biker says, I'm on the fence about promoting from within. I really want to know if we ever can. Whoever else was interested in the position. What was Nebraska willing to pay? No disrespect to Coach Butler. I just want to know more about the process. Yeah, we won't know more about the process. I doubt we get any leaks. We didn't hear really any rumored names as well. And I think that's because Nebraska was probably pretty well set on hiring John Butler. Huskers P says Nebraska is a historic program. We deserve better than all these first-time coaching opportunities. Nebraska claims to have money but refuses to spend it to get the best coaches available. Interesting. He also threw out a name for Jim Leonard. And Cubsker says, so now we're going to get holding calls all the time. That is a Chiefs joke. That's a good one there, Cubsker. So really appreciate you guys chiming in with your thoughts. We had a lot on the docket. It was overtaken by Husker news. That is okay, because with Husker news come your thoughts. Text line, you killed it today. Blockheads, we appreciate you as always. Keep that same energy with us for the rest of the week. Appreciate Nebco for their sponsorship of the show. Starter Heyman Jewelers for their sponsorship of the text line and our streams. We're going to get out of the way. We got Takedown Tuesdays coming up next. For Strick, for Ellie, I'm Austin. We'll talk to you at 2 o'clock tomorrow for On the Block.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sand Hills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.